have the link posted in the live chat. In the live chat is the link for the grudge race that will happen tomorrow. So you can go ahead, click that link, hit your reminder if you want to watch. If you want to do more than watch, send me an invite on the EA platform to Wolfpack F1. I will accept that invite. I will be checking that box today to accept any invites that are there. That way, when we get ready to go live for free practice and open up the lobby, you can get your invite, participate in the free practice. After free practice, we will move smoothly as possible into quali and the race, okay? It will be a one-shot quali. Do you understand? It will be a one-shot quali. Also, tomorrow, after the race, we will be spinning the wheel for a Purple Collections Wolfpack hat. Somebody will win that free of charge. You will be shipped. Once I announce that person off the wheel, you need to contact me in the Discord via DM or on social media with your shipping address and name, structured as it needs to be on the shipping label. All right, let's get into this conversation because there are a lot of things that have been happening in Formula One going into this break. Okay. And one of the biggest bangers is Nick DeVries being dropped from AlphaTauri. All right. But following that big drop, a bigger drop comes. Danny Rick will be taking that seat at AlphaTauri next to Yuki. Okay, so while we're talking about people losing their seat, people gaining a seat, and we've also been talking about the possibilities of other drivers not being favored within the team, i.e. Sergio Perez, Checo, Minister of Defense. We've had concerns about that. Some people are growing with the campaign that Russell should not be with Mercedes or Russell should have a sit-down talk, or Toto should sit Russell down and have a very good conversation with him. Not happy about some of his latest comments following the Great Britain GP, which we will be talking about on F1 Minute, the hottest live show on the Formula One planet tomorrow, live on Mondays, where the platform is more about you than it is about me. You will be able to call in, do a live call in, come into the show, give your opinions, give your debates. We have some awesome takes from several of the family members: Baraka, Wildcat, Maria, Galacticus, DG Big Blue, a lot of people, Kenny B. So there's a lot of interaction there. So come do that. But let's talk about Mick Schumacher, because I think this is an interesting topic that maybe is starting to have a groundswell, but hasn't reached yet, because I think a lot of people are waiting to see what Mick does or what opportunity Mick is given again on the grid of Formula One. Right now, being a reserve driver for Mercedes, and we've seen reports or postings that even Toto has had a sit down with Nick DeVries. What will come of that? Maybe nothing, maybe something. I do think maybe Nick DeVries was cut a bit early at the knees. He is a rookie, but we know that Red Bull have a tendency to do the things that they have done with not giving drivers a full opportunity if they feel they haven't lived up to their expectations or expectations that they may have set. I don't think Nick DeVries should have been shortened like he was. I don't think he should have been completely showed the back door in sayonara type situation. I think maybe if they wanted to bring Danny Rick in, bring him in. Nick, you're going to take a back seat. I understand the Liam Lawson situation and why he's not there yet. He has some other things going on, some circumstances that don't yield to him quite being on the grid just yet. Maybe that happens in the near future. We don't know. But let's talk about Mick. Did Haas potentially give up on Mick too soon? And even if they didn't give up on him too soon, is the move that they made for Hulk really making sense right now? Because I would fair to guess, I haven't looked at the contracts, and yeah, I should have before coming on the show, but it's up in the air. I'm thinking that Hulk is probably making more than Mick was. I would probably bet $1 on that Hulk is making more than Mick was. Okay. But Mick, we all know, we had concerns about Mick. We saw the things that took place. We saw the cars he split in half. We saw the incidents that he had, which I'm going to talk about that because some of that is going to lend to my support of Haas's decision. But some of the things I'm going to talk about will lend to the support of Mick having the opportunity still at Haas. Okay. So let's look at some things real quick. Side by side, we're going to talk about some things. Okay. Let's talk about this. Mick's season. Okay. Mick's season 2022. Not necessarily Well, let's go back. Let's roll back and listen. I'm going to have my phone on because right now there is an active shooter in the area that has killed 4 people. So I'm not going to turn my phone off. I have to answer from there. Hello. Yes. Okay. It's all right. Hey, listen. It's all right. It's all right. Come downstairs. Come downstairs. Okay. So yes, there's an active shooter in the area. Literally right now, there are gunshots going off. And so we're trying to figure out what subdivision this is happening in. I am ready and prepared. So kids are scared. So I'm going to let them come downstairs and do something. But life does go on, but we got to keep safe. Go ahead. Go in this room right here, baby. So I'm going to go on with this right here. So like I was saying, his last season, 2022, World Driving Championship standings. Let's go ahead to 2021. 2021, frame of mind going. Like I said, I'm not turning my phone off. I got family members still out. I'm trying to gather everybody, see where everybody is. So 2021, he's 19th. All right. He's 19th. 2022, Mick does indeed improve. Mick improves. Okay. He goes to 16th. Now, I'm not saying that's like an exponential big improvement. I'm not saying the team looked at that and said, you know what? We can win a constructors championship with that. Not saying that, but I am saying this. Mick did improve. He did improve 3 spots, actually. So to me, I would at least say maybe we give another season, right? Maybe we give another season and see what Mick can do. They still were working out the whole situation with Mazepin happened. The car necessarily still working through that. Do they have a better car this season? Maybe they got better sponsorship this season. Maybe Mick in this season actually improves again. What if they had given him another opportunity and he moves up another 3 or 2 spots? What if he goes to 14th, maybe even 13th in the driving championship standings? Okay, improvement is improvement, especially as a rookie. All right. But he collected 12 points. We got rookies right now that don't have any points on the grid. None. Not at all, okay? Have zilch. Nada. No points. 12, okay? His average result, if you tally everything up, including the DNFs or the DNSs, which I count as zeros, but I still count them, 11.7th in finishing, okay? Just outside of points, which he collected a few points. Now, they bought in Hulk to replace Mick, okay? Hulk comes in. K-Mag's still there, contract with Haas. I think they are pretty fond of K-Mag right now. We know he's had some discrepancies in the past and some concerns, but overall, I think this season probably a bit better. Does he have some DNFs in situations? Yeah, he does. In that, but I would like to also say Galacticus, Mick crashed too much for Haas. They don't have money, and that is going to be one of my points as far as maybe supporting Haas's decision. Good job, Galacticus. You move right in, brother. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be on it. So let's look at something. So like we said, 2022 last season, finishing 16th in the driving championships, 12 points on average. Now let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at at this information next. Okay, so let's look at Hulk. Hulk right here. 2023 presently, he's 14th. All right, he's 2 spots above where Mick finished. There's no guarantee that Hulk is going to finish 14th. He might continue to slide, okay? He has 9 points right now currently. Will I am, what's up, Jay? You and the fam stay safe. Mick made $1 million a year. Hulk making $4 million. I think Mick would still be with Haas if it weren't for the crashes. Thank you, Will I am, my brother. Thank you very much for getting that information for me. So I was right. I win my dollar. $3 more million, but $3 more million in salary pay for the driver, not including how Mick may have impacted the cost cap of Haas, a lower team on the grid, still trying to battle through several circumstances of sponsorship. We've seen that. Hulk right there averaged right now 12.6. Okay, so a lower than Mick actually. Okay, so a little bit lower than Mick. If we look at Mick throughout his totality of that season, 11.7th. Jay the mechanic says, Jay, I heard about an active shooter in Georgia. Stay safe, my brother. Yes, the active shooter is in our area. Probably it's not far from here, actually. So to the point where I think we've heard the gunshots go off. So yeah, we will be trying to stay safe. Everybody here is in, trying to make sure other family members are where they need to be. I am indeed right here. I'm not going, no YouTube bans. I just got off probation, but yes, am indeed prepared. Alarms definitely on. Security systems on. I got all cameras up on another phone right here. So we're going to try to stay safe, but I don't like to try to allow people to control my life. Although there are a lot of things going on. I can't just go out there in the public, leave people and kids home, and then just, try to be a vigilante. That ain't gonna work. They're gonna lock your boy Jay up, and then I'll be doing lives from prison because they're gonna be like, you're a vigilante. Even though you did a good deed, you killed somebody, right? So, like right now, let's do this. Trust me, family is safe. We buttoned up. Trust me, I got several things throughout this property where, trust me, family's safe. I've been through a lot of things in my childhood. I've invested money in security, I've invested money in cameras, and I have invested money in artillery and certain things around the property. So we definitely are safe, and I'm praying for everybody else that's out and about to just kind of moving like they don't really care what's going on out there. You got to think about that. So like I was saying, Mick, 11 points, and I really appreciate you all concerned. I really do. I love you all. I really appreciate that. So like I was saying, 11.7 right there. If we look at Nico Hulk right here, 12.6, it's not necessarily that great, right? It's not like a big trade-off when we look at these stats, but these stats don't tell us everything about the entire story of Mick Schumacher and why Haas elected to get rid of him. But if we're looking right now and saying if Mercedes was willing to take a chance on him, I think it's that he needs a little bit more grooming. The mechanic, big bro, don't try to be hell no, don't try to be Batman. Don't do that. Nah. Just do what you could do if you put in a situation, but don't go looking for a situation. That's a fact, mechanic. That is a big fact. But I think the bigger situation is he just did too much damage to the cost cap. A lot of what you see registered on the actual result of finishes don't give the story of what Mick did in practices, what he did in free practice or qualifying. He literally tore a car in half. That's a lot of money, okay? The car literally was split in half. The only other driver that did that recently and did it in a Haas car again was Grosjean when he nearly could have been fatally killed. Thank God for the halo. Thank goodness for innovation and technology in Formula One. It saved his life. That car split going through the guardrail, okay, through the Ramco. Dodge, man, just bless somebody with a Wolfpack membership. Definition of essence. Welcome to the family. Get into the Discord, all of that good stuff. Mary Beanie says, Jay, keep the little one in the family safe. You peace. Oh, definitely we are. Definitely are. So Mick ran up a tally, okay? He ran up a tally, he ran up a tab, he ran up a bill, and I think Haas thought to himself, I don't think we can take much more of this. We're in a cost cap era. We're going to have to do everything we can to try to bring updates, bring development, spend money in here, and we don't need a driver that's costing us this much. We need drivers, if they're even if they perform slightly less than Mick, collect slightly less points, maybe they do marginally better. The big thing was Hulk and K-Mag to them are not as much of a liability as Mick Schumacher proved to be at Haas. That is the biggest problem, and that is what I think Mick lost his seat. His performance in him as a rookie and young driver growing in Haas. And I would also say this, Haas is not the best team to groom and cultivate a winning atmosphere. They're just not, okay? So it's also to say that it could be a very good gift in disguise for Mick to be with somebody like Mercedes, which his father used to drive for, to kind of help him hone in and sharpen his skills. We already know as Mercedes was going into Silverstone, free practice and what we saw there wasn't that great. Mick was the one going into the simulator all that night and trying to help them develop through the course of a night, which they improved in qualifying. And then in that same race, Sir Lewis Hamilton got a podium. All right, he earned a podium. So Mick right now, although not in a seat, might be in the best situation for his career going forward. But let's also say something. Let's also be real, because I understand the situation that arises when you have a driver like Mick Schumacher, not even just a driver. when you have a person like Mick Schumacher, somebody that comes from an individual who did so many great things in Formula One, who is regarded as one of the GOATs in Formula One. Right now it's Lewis Hamilton. Schumacher's up there. They're tied for the most wins of championships in Formula One, okay? He's under expectations initially that he was going to have some of that greatness. And let's just be real. A lot of kids, a lot of people that come or that are birthed from athletes that are great are not always great themselves. Haas would be better in Demolition Derby than Formula One. Mary Beanie, I firmly, honestly believe that. I support that. Like I've always said, if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos about Haas, I'm going to tell you, above their facility, when you enter the door, is a sign that says, if you ain't wrecking, you ain't racing, okay? And I'm saying it just like that. But it's hard sometimes for people to understand Mick can't be Michael, okay? Just like Bronny may never be LeBron, okay? It just happens that way. Michael Jordan's sons were not anywhere near close to what Michael Jordan did ever. Gary Payton's sons. I mean, Tom Brady's sons might grow up there. You think they're going to be as great as Tom Brady? Maybe, but majority of the time, probably not. We've seen this. Now, there are certain situations in sports and in athletes where we see a child, a son, may supersede the father. We saw it in Ken Griffey Jr. and Griffey, right? Ken Griffey Jr. did far better. He's more known for what he done there. But that doesn't happen all the time. Okay, and Mick is no different than anybody else. He is his own self. We cannot hold these great expectations to Mick. Mick has to do what he can do. Think about it. Ralph didn't even do as good as his own brother. He didn't even. Now, Ralph did all right. Now, let's take a look. Let's just listen to this. Just listen to this. Ralph Schumacher, 11 seasons, 6 wins. So, yeah, he got some wins. He collected some wins. 6 pole positions, 8 fastest laps, 27 podiums in his career. His best driving championship ranking result was 4th in 2001 and 2002. And his first 2 seasons, he finished 11th and then he finished 10th. All right, improving 1 more position his first 2 seasons in Formula One. Okay, now let's compare him. Let's compare that to his brother Michael. 19 seasons, 8 more seasons than Ralph. Uno says Mick did good with what has done Mazepin and should still be with Haas. Okay, so Uno believe he should still be with Haas. Twin, you and the family stay safe and blessed. Be our hero, not zero. My twin, big facts. You know, be a hero, not a zero. Don't make bad decisions. Stay within your camp. Definitely don't make any moves unnecessarily that you don't have to. And by all means necessary, defend yours and your home appropriately. But I'm going to tell you this, right? Let's say on camera right now, I got a neighbor who's outside cutting grass. All right. He has 2 kids and a wife. Let's say on camera, I see the active shooter. I'm going. All right. He's got 2 kids. So what do? Stay here. He gets shot. And then I got to sit here and watch and wonder if his kids, I got to go. You know, the military, the person in me means I got to go. Like I got to protect my own lock, stay here, boom, in, but I got to go. I got to go contest that. And that's just me. So I'm not going to lie. So if I run off camera because I see my neighbor get gunned down, that's why I'm going. But if not, we're going to be right here. We're going to do what we got to do. So like I was saying, Michael, 8 more seasons than Ralph, 19 seasons, 91 wins to Ralph's 6. Now, these are brothers. We talking about brothers right now. Okay, brothers racing in the same seasons against each other. Often mentioned in races competing. We saw Ralph win. We saw times when Michael didn't win. We saw times when Michael was right behind Ralph and couldn't track him down. We saw these things. All right, let's look at these wins. 91 wins to Ralph's 6 wins. 68 pole positions to Ralph's 6 pole positions. 77 fastest laps to Ralph's 28 fastest laps. 155 podiums to Ralph's 27 podiums. His best result first, 94, 95, 2000, all the way to 2004. Okay? His first 2 seasons, though, 14th and made a major jump to 3rd. Improvement. Mick, 2 seasons, 5 retirements, 19th to 16th. He's still got time. He's still got time, but let's just be honest. Can we at least maybe expect his uncle's performance? Maybe he has a Ralph S career. First 2 seasons, Ralph was 11th. He made a jump to 10th, only 1 spot. First 2 seasons, Mick 19th. He makes a 3-spot jump to 16th. Maybe it's possible for Mick to be somewhere in between there, but I'm going to be very honest on what I think. I think Mick has a career sub Ralph's career. I do. I think it's Ralph S or a little not. Just to be honest on what I think, on my opinion. That's not a fact because he still has time to show what he's going to do. He still has time to improve himself. He's with one of the greatest teams right now in Formula One. That's Mercedes, a team that is known to develop within a season, a team that is known to help, assist, support, encourage their drivers. So he's in a very productive situation. So I think maybe it's possible he has a career that resembles Ralph, right? Maybe he has 5 wins and, 3 pole positions and maybe 2-3 fastest laps and semi-podiums, maybe not 27-19 or something like that. Maybe he has that, right? Maybe he has that. Is that so bad for his career? No, it's not great, but it's not the worst, right? Because there are drivers who have been in Formula One and don't have any race wins. Don't have any podiums, don't have any championships. Ralph didn't have any, came as close to 4th. That's good. Top 5, but he never got a chip. Meanwhile, his brother racked up 7. So those are the things, expectations I think that are realistic. He has the Schumacher name, but we've seen a brother who came in and was in the game with Michael, okay? Actually with Michael, didn't accomplish anywhere near as much as Michael, but did have more accomplishments than other drivers that we've seen come into the sport and leave the sport with zeros in many of these spots, many of these categories. 0 wins, 0 podiums, 0 fastest laps. All right. Not even in the top 10 as far as driver championship standings. Okay. Don't even mention Michael's 22 hat tricks, 5 grand slams. Like none. So if Mick can find his way to have a Ralph S career, I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. Now, the thing is, where's Mick going to get his opportunity? Like, where would Mick go at some point in time? Is he going to stay there, groom, crop his skills, and then maybe is he going to wait 5 seasons and get a seat after Hamilton leaves? Does Mercedes grow tired of Russell's antics, his undertones, and maybe decide to slide him on out where we no longer need your services and get Mick in there after several or a couple more seasons of actually getting his stuff together and honing in his skills? Maybe. Does Alpine grow tired of Gasly? Does Ocon do better than he's doing and maybe gets an opportunity with a better team? I think there are several teams out there with drivers right now that we could say their ceiling is in sight, and I've said that plenty of times. Ocon, it may be one. Gasly, definitely one to me. Nick DeVries, unfortunately, the way he was performing is still a rookie. I think needed a little bit more time in the sport. I know he did a lot of things before coming to Formula One, and even in Formula One, that one race, I think he needed a little bit more time. I'm not going to say his ceiling's in sight until I see him again in another seat. But if he doesn't get that opportunity because a team feels like he ain't that guy, then his ceiling is cemented by the determination of the sport itself. Galactus, if Mick learns a lot, send him to Williams. There we go. Drop Logan Sargent. Damn, Galactus, Will might have something to say about that, bro. You just said drop his rookie. And if that does happen, that's not a bad situation. It's not bad. But I will be looking for Mick to get another opportunity with a team to see what he can do. So we will see what happens. And I will also look to see if Mick gets an opportunity somewhere. The Williams was a sick-ass car. Ralph, yeah, Ralph and One were killing it. True. JPM was taking it to Michael when he could back then. Hey, that's true. Go back and check those races. They were. Williams was killing it. That's why I try to tell people, like, Williams is one of my favorite teams. I really am rooting for Williams to get back to greatness. It was very good to watch a team of Williams stature at that point. Look at where they came from, what they did, and where they are now. It is a great story. Even if they never come back, it's a great story how Williams was developed by Frank, basically out of garage, all right? Ferrari dissing them, like Ferrari looking down on teams like Frank, okay? And then for him to go through what he went through, losing the team, selling the team, getting pushed out of his own team, to taking that money, starting the team again, the development, Braun, Newey, it's a great story with Williams. I absolutely like it so much, okay? And I'm rooting for Williams to make that comeback. I'm looking for it. But Mick, if he goes to Williams, maybe Williams gets more established. Albon gets a better look from a higher team because of the things he was able to do with Williams. Hopefully it's with a team that can, maybe Alpine improves and Albon goes there. And next thing you know, Albon's in the top 5 or top 6 drivers. Like, maybe that happens. There's going to be something that may open up. And if it does, if Mick is ready and the opportunity arises, then destiny has happened and he can get that opportunity. Albon's making a great way for himself. Nick DeVries, I'm hoping that maybe he will have somebody that will believe in the ability. Hold on. Yo, what's going on, bro? Yeah, I know. Make sure you stay safe. You going in? All right, that's a bet. Well, if you need to, then I'm okay. No, yeah, I know you was in the Army, but I was in the Navy, and the Navy do great things. But I'm on live right now, so I'm gonna get with you. Be safe. All right. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how things go. I'm hoping that DeVries gets another opportunity. I'm hoping at least, because I think half a season's not enough. I think that was really disrespectful. I'm wondering what's going to happen between Red Bull and Checo. I know they have this talk like they're behind me and I'm with it. I think that's all contractual right now. I'm here talk. I'm not sure Checo is confident that Red Bull will support him the way he should be supported. And I'm also not sure that Red Bull believe that Checo is the number 2 driver they want, because I think right now Checo might be battling with the fact that they only want him to be a number 2, that he indeed cannot have the opportunity, the fair opportunity to do what he would have the free reign to do in another team. I think there are circumstances there that pretty much state he will never be able to be number 1 as long as Max Verstappen is doing and with that team. And I think there may be some turmoil there. And I think we'll see how let's see how that works out a couple of seasons from now. Let's see where Perez and Red Bull stand there. Let's see what Perez's tones are if he ever exits Red Bull, and see how he talks about his experience there. All right, we'll see what happens. Let's see what's going to happen with this Danny Rick situation. So anyway, I'm not going to stay on too long. Definitely things to do. I got a few more people to call. Let's go ahead. Live tomorrow for the esports race. 11 a.m. free practice will begin. Be ready for the invites if you plan on participating in free practice. Liveries are Great Britain, okay? Red, white, and blues type. Williams had a very fire livery. McLaren had a fire livery. I'd like to see if somebody can recreate that. That would be awesome. If somebody can recreate the McLaren chrome livery for tomorrow's race, fire. If somebody can recreate the Williams livery that they had, that Britain, fire. I'm going for that. Will I Am Galactus. That's my Sarge. Only 2 positions below Albon in the last 2 races, and Albon is a vet. The racecraft is building. Pia is the best rookie so far. Pia, why you acting like a? But Sarge is keeping up. Hey, I'm going with it. Sarge is improving. Galactus. Danny got 3 GPs to show what he can do with AT. Galactus not playing with those 3 GPs. You got 3 opportunities, whether it's a race or a season. You got 3. Back then, Williams had BMW Cosworth engines, and hey, talk about that Cosworth. The only reason why Ford could have even somewhat of a resembling successful entry in the Formula One, what they were doing, because Ford by themselves was not doing much. So it's going to be also interesting to see how the Ford deal works out with Red Bull as they bring them in is their power unit supplier. So that's going to be very interesting in itself. So there are a lot of interesting things that are about to start unraveling in Formula One in the next 2 seasons. Okay, we got new teams coming in. We still want to know what's going to happen with Andretti. How's the Ford situation going to impact Red Bull? How the new regs going to impact all the teams? How many teams are going to drastically improve to the point that Red Bull are not the most runaway team on the grid and will have competition? And we don't know what team will win a race in and out, what driver is going to be on podium, what driver is going to be on pole. There are a lot of things that could start happening in Formula One within the next couple of seasons where you just need to stay tuned. Stick with me. Trust that, okay? How are these rookies going to unveil? Where's Pia going to be next season? Where's Logan Sargent going to be next season? Those type of things. Who's going to be coming in next as a rookie? Like, there are so many things like that we're going to be paying attention to. The development of Mercedes, development of Alpine, Aston Martin. How's that going to work with Lance Stroll? Is Lawrence finally going to buck up and say, son, you got to take a seat? So these are things where you get the opportunity tomorrow live to give your mind, your take, not 2 cents, your 5 cents on what you think is going to happen in Formula One on this platform. Mary Beanie. Montoya rocked that Williams, but Joss in 2010, he should have been champion. Lewis McLaren car was the best, and Chrome even better than last week. McLaren, hey, that was a very fire livery. Like they did when they brought that back. I was like, I'm giving McLaren the crown for livery swag. Right now, they killing it with livery swag. I like their initial livery, but this new Williams livery, woo! That thing bold. I'm looking to see if that thing gonna come out for real. That new Williams livery, I need to see that thing on track. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here, button up some things. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna see y'all live tomorrow for the race. Don't be late. Be here to watch that. We be going off. Some of our races are better than Formula One races right now, because right now Formula One is having awesome qualifying, and like the races are like, they okay, they all right, but the qualifyings have been dope. Our races be dope. So come join us. If you want to participate in racing the race, send me an invite. I'm going to check those tonight. Big shout out to you all. Peace and love. Wolfpack out. Boom.